Hi Vibrant Souls, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. This is Vibrant Soul Tarot and I'm super excited to have you here today. So today's pick a card reading, we are going to be asking about a person that you do not have contact with at this time. So whether that's just speaking terms, you're in a separation, whatever the case is, this is a no contact reading. But we are going to be asking how they're feeling about this, like what's going on with them, how are they feeling about you and the connection at this time, kind of get a little bit of insight. So if that's kind of something that you've been wondering, or maybe you've just kind of been feeling pulled towards somebody, or you just honestly could just be really curious, your reasons are your reasons, but I'm glad you're here. And so if this sounds like something you'd be interested in, then welcome to the reading. So let's go ahead and get into the pile selection then. So pile number one, starting right here, we have this lepidolite heart. Pile number two, we have this red jasper feather. And then for pile number three, we have this blue apatite palm stone. So please take your time in choosing your pile. If you do need more time, you're more than welcome to pause the video here, take as long as you need. But when you do have your pile selected, I will post the timestamps for each one in the description box below for your convenience. So you can just go down to the description box and click on the time, and I will see you straight at your reading. Bye. Hi pile one, welcome to your reading. If you chose the lepidolite heart, these are your messages. So today we are asking about that person that you are not in contact with at this time. How are they feeling right now about you and about the connection? What's going on with them? Anything you may need to know at this time? So I'm going to ask Spirit here to please tune me in to this situation of pile ones, as well as show me and pile one with the most clarity how this person is currently feeling about them. How are they taking this separation? Anything that pile one may be needing to know at this time too, please. Thank you. All right, let's get one more shuffle and then we'll get some answers here. Oh, also lepidolite is a stone that is known to work really well for healing when it comes to codependencies and addictions as well. So this could be relevant to this connection if you felt very codependent on this person, or this person could actually be, you know, going through their own type of addictions that they're trying to heal from as well. But that's a message coming through with your beautiful crystal that you chose. So let's go ahead and get started. How are they feeling about pile one right now? What is this person's thoughts and feelings towards pile one at this time, and about this connection here, please? Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords. Interesting. This deck is actually, it's called the Tarot of Opposition. So it has two sides to each card. It's like if it was like reversed or upright, but it has imageries that kind of tell a story on both sides, which I think is really cool. And I thought it would be really useful for feelings. So we're going to actually see, this is the first time using it. So we're actually going to see if that is true or not. So we have it on the shadow aspect. That's why I was kind of explaining that. We have the Ace of Swords on the shadow aspect here, which I believe that this person does feel like they have something to say, or they want to express something to you, or at least break some sort of no contact here. Obviously, it's a no contact reading, and but they're not. As well as there's the hand, it's grabbing the opposite end of the sword. So maybe this person was known to kind of say things that were hurtful, and I feel as though if that were the case, they felt like they kind of put their own foot in their own mouth. Like it hurt, like them being spiteful or hurtful, it hurt them too, because it hurt this situation, if that makes sense. But let's see, how else is this person feeling? Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles in the shadow aspect as well. And And we have the 10 of Wands in the shadow aspect. And the bottom of the deck coming through, we have the 5 of Swords in the shadow aspect, which I feel as though is relevant. And then now we have the Magician in the shadow aspect, which is really interesting, actually. So yeah, I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, obviously, you know, because this is a no contact, but they're feeling the energy of it kind of blocked, like it's not going anywhere. Like I feel like though there, like I said, there's things that they would like to say to you, and I think that there was a destination at one point that they wanted to get with you, but now it just feels like it's not going anywhere. They don't know what to do. This person could be going through financial problems as well too, because the 10 of Wands in reverse plus the Knight of Pentacles, you know, this in reverse, this person feels kind of stuck as well in their own situation. And I think like not only just this situation, I think that this person has a lot going on right now in their life, to say the least. But I do feel like with this 5 of Swords in the shadow aspect, I think that they do believe that their actions and their words kind of got them in trouble. It kind of got them, or maybe the lack thereof, for some of you, I think is a message coming through. Basically like the lack thereof words kind of got them in this position where they're feeling, you know, I feel like this person feels a little lonely, and I do feel like they feel very much defeated when it comes to this connection. Like with the 10 of Wands, at one point in time, it could have been a lot for this person to handle, not just like everything they have going on in life, but this situation, like whatever had happened, it could have been a lot for them to handle, and they feel like they kind of dropped the ball here, and they're feeling like they let it all slip away. The imagery is this person falling flat on their face, and it could have been too much for them to handle as well. Maybe they weren't even prepared for the intensity of this connection at one point in time, and this could have been some sort of self-sabotage as well too, but it kind of just feels like it all went to pieces on their, you know, in their perspective, on their aspect. I don't know if that's the right word to use right now, but oh well. So let's go ahead and get some quick clarifiers, and then we'll talk about it. We're also going to pull some oracles here for you, as well as some channeled messages from this person, and then some advice at the end. So let's go ahead and get to it. Why is the Ace of Swords here? We have the 7 of Wands in the shadow aspect. Okay, so this person, like I said, there are things that they want to say, but they're in this heavy resistant mode, to the point where they're fighting it. Like they're fighting their own will at this point. And I think this person was very overly protective of themselves and of their emotions, to the point where they may have been it was just too much. Like there could have been arguments as well too. And I think that this person may come off as kind of cold at times, or may come off like they don't care, but I think that they're trying to protect themselves, because I feel as though that this person does not like to be vulnerable, and I feel as though that that shows that this person may be just extremely sensitive, and that could be something that they just don't even like dealing with here. And I feel like there's a message here with this Knight of Pentacles kind of in reverse as well too, that this person saw you as someone that is relationship material, and they saw this situation as something that can have, you know, be very prosperous and that can go the distance. But I think that this person themselves at times didn't think that they were relationship material. And I think that they do have a lot of blocked energy that we can see, or all of these cards are coming up in the shadow aspect. So there could be a lot of shadow work that this person still needs to work on as well, or things that they just need to deal with and see in a different type of light here. So let's clarify. Why is this Knight? For some of you, you could have this person blocked, and that's why they feel like they don't have a lot to say as well too, or they could have blocked you. But I think that these are more energetic blocks as well too, for the most part. So why is this Knight of Pentacles here, please? The shadow aspect. We have the Queen of Cups upright, and we have the 10 of Swords, which I can't really tell if this is light aspect or dark. I'm gonna say light, because the only difference here, well, there's a couple differences, but the main difference in this one, I believe, is this person has their eyes open, rather than closed. And so I think that this is them realizing a lot as well too, as seeing things. But so this Knight of Pentacles is definitely coming in reverse as well too, because this person feels as though with the Ten of Swords here coming with, and with this Queen of Cups upright, I think that they feel they may have felt like they've hurt you to the point of no return, just because the Queen of Cups is, and if that's not the case, then this could be them feeling hurt to the point of no return, or like that kind of, like we were talking about, that vulnerability. But it's just because the Queen of Cups is such a nurturing, loving energy. With this Ten of Swords here, it's like the Ten of Swords is like, it hurts. And I think that this person is feeling that as well too. But I feel like they almost maybe feel regrets about this situation. As well as like, you know, with that blocked energy of like, well, it didn't get to go where I wanted it to go. So maybe if you and this person, you know, it didn't even get that far, or it doesn't even matter. I feel if it got that far, as long as, you know, there was a destination here that this person saw with you. Like this person saw you as relationship material. This person saw you as someone that could take care of them, you know, whether that is emotionally, because with this Queen of Cups, this is a very loving, nurturing type of energy. And I feel like they think that they screwed it up and they're not going to have that anymore with you. And I think that's something that they're kind of realizing, because we have the Ten of Swords with the eyes open, which means that maybe they're thinking that it's not done, it's not over, but there's nothing I can do right now. Because the Ten of Swords is a very much rock bottom energy. It's like a painful ending that is hard, that is almost needed some sort of acceptance here. And with that being said, with the Queen of Cups, it's like, yeah, I think with this Ten of Swords, I feel like this person had a lot of betrayals, or there was a lot of betrayals here. Interesting. And I mean, like, this person had a lot of betrayals. Like, this could have been like just like wounds and patterns that this person has carried with them, you know, into this connection, and that they have yet to deal with. And then also I feel like this could have been wounds caused, you know, by them. Like this person could have betrayed you, could have betrayed your trust maybe with this, or it's just this person is like reluctant to feel this rock bottom type of energy and to accept this. Especially with this Queen of Cups, they feel you, they do think that you are someone that can offer them so much love. And I think that it's almost like an opposite of like how they are, or how they feel they are. Like you are someone to them that is very open and loving and caring and nurturing, and they feel almost as if they're like the opposite of that. Like that's almost like how they view themselves at times as well here too. Okay, so what else can you tell me about this Ten of Wands here? Oops. Oh, we have the Six of Cups. Yeah, this person is definitely thinking about you a lot. They reminisce about the past a lot here as well too. And I think it's one of the things that they don't want to let go of and they don't want to give up on, because I think, you know, especially with the Six of Cups kind of coming out in the light aspect, this is them thinking very fondly of you. This is them, you know, when they think about you, they think about the happy times, or at least the, you know, the joy that you brought them as well too, and things like that. And I think that both of these kind of come into play, this being a separation reading, because with the Six of Cups, this person may feel very lonely without you as well too, or they may feel kind of like they don't have that person that, you know, because the Six of Cups can be a soulmate card as well too. Like I feel like it's almost like that person that just kind of gets them. And this could be why they felt like they kind of fumbled that situation. Like you're almost like you're the one that got away, like they screwed it up, and now it's like they almost like ruined it. And I do think that this person is putting a lot of the blame on themselves. And I think that's kind of bringing up this regret energy here as well too. So let's see, why is this Five of Swords here in reverse? I am feeling very sad. Like it's this energy that's coming, like it goes up through my heart chakra and it feels like it's coming out through my eyes. And I don't think that this person is crying. I think this person may need to, well, they could be actually, I don't want to say that, but I think that this person, they need to feel like a big release with this situation. And that could be something that they do. Actually, I shouldn't say that they don't, but I felt like it was almost like a dry cry. So that could be significant. Okay. So we have the Queen of Swords in the shadow aspect with the Five of Swords in the shadow aspect. The Page of Cups upright at the bottom. The Page of Cups upright is telling me, I feel like it's almost as if like they would love to just have a renewed sense of hope, a renewed sense of energy here with this situation. As well as I think that this is also coming through to say that this person could have been a little bit immature at times, a little bit emotionally immature, and that they are trying to grow or trying to evolve. But for the most part, okay, so this is the second time I'm seeing the Fool card in the shadow position, and that's kind of making me think that this person almost feels too like that they were really foolish and naive, and also that they may have like underestimated the intensity of this connection. Like they may have jumped in too soon, not realizing all of the things that it was going to bring up between you and this person, and that is an interesting energy to see here. Almost like they're running for it, and they didn't even know what they were getting themselves into. Because we have the Four of Wands here as well too, and then we have the Tower, and look at that burning tower. Wow. Yeah, regardless of like how long you were with this person or any kind of time, you definitely sparked some crazy change within this person. And I think you definitely played a very significant role in this person's healing and in this person's life, because they're having some major realizations here about relationships and about connections. But let's talk about the Five of Swords and the Queen of Swords here for you. I feel like one of the things that they feel sucks the most right now is that if you pulled away your energy, and maybe you were that Queen of Cups and they may have hurt you, or something had happened to the point where you kind of had to become this Queen of Swords, where you kind of had to pull away or become seemingly cold. And I'm saying seemingly because I'm not saying it's because you don't care or you want it to be cold or anything like that. I feel like this would be an energy of like you have to do what you have to do. And I think that's one of the things that gets them the most and hurts them the most, is them thinking or believing the fact that you could just care less, or you don't care anymore, or you don't have any love left for them, or there's nothing else that you want to give to them. I think that's something that hurts them to literally their core, because I say that as I'm feeling this in my solar plexus chakra. It makes them feel insecure and very powerless to think that. And this could be how they're feeling right now. This could be an insecurity that comes up. It could be something that really just bugs them right now as well too. But yeah, with this Page of Cups in reverse, I mean, not Page of Cups in reverse, Page of Cups upright. Oh, 1616 on the clock, which is the number of the Tower. Dang. Oh, but what I was going to say is it's giving me like them like a sense of renewal, like wanting to renewal as well too. Also, for a specific message, if you ever talked about having kids together, or you have kids together or something like that, this is something that still kind of gives some hope. Like, for example, like if you do share kids with this person, they're like, oh well, I get to see pile one, you know, or we have to talk or something like that. But that's probably not the case for most of you. I think it's more or less of like a renewed, yeah, it's like a renewed kind of feeling that I'm getting here. So let's go ahead and get some oracles. What else can you tell us about how this person is feeling towards pile one? That's a lot of cards. We have doubt. Bottom of the deck, we have woman holding a coin in reverse. So let's try to go through them fast, just because I'm not trying to rush your reading at all, and I do not care how long these readings take, guys. I could care less about that. It's because I keep getting cut off, and I'm tired of that. So I'm trying to, but it's okay. If I get cut off, I'll just come right back. No big deal. That's just me. Okay, so we also have health. I will honor my physical vessel that enshrines my soul. We have gratitude. As I was just saying, look at all this green. There's another green card. We have gratitude. I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. We also have victory upright. We have self-esteem. I possess the gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. And then we have the first chakra, Archangel Michael, which is the root chakra. All right. So I feel like right now this person is trying to build something, or at least trying to get their finances up in some way. I do believe, you know, this person is trying to find some stability, whether that is through financial or not. And I think that with the self-esteem here, I think that this person in this situation really did take a blow to their ego. And it's almost as if they're trying to regain that kind of sense of self. But I'm hearing that that sense of self wasn't put in the right place. It wasn't put, you know, it wasn't coming from within in the first place. So unless they continue to, you know, put their self-esteem, or, you know, their worth on connections, people's opinions, how much money they have, things like that, it's gonna just keep crumbling over and over again regardless. But yeah, that's kind of like, I feel like this person feels, I just feel like this person feels very low right now in life. Like they could be going through a lot at this time. But then we have gratitude and we have victory, which are very positive cards. And I think that this is like this person just wanting to have this outcome with you. It's like they have they have like every reason to doubt that this would ever even happen right now during, like, you know, because of the circumstances and obviously what's going on. But I do believe there's just this side of them that's like, oh my gosh, if I could make this work, or if me and Pile One can come out on top, like I would be so grateful and I would be so happy, even though, you know, there's all of these obstacles and there's all of these things. It's like, and I think that with this victory here too, it's like this is just them trying to overcome their own obstacles in their life here as well too. Now the fact that we have health coming through, and especially with this like root chakra, this person could just be needing to take better care of themselves. And with the health and the self-esteem, like maybe this person is trying to work on themselves, like they're trying to work on their physique as well too. They could want to look good for you. But yeah, it's like, it's interesting because it's like we have this doubt side and then we have this victory side. And I think that these kind of like they kind of butt heads a lot of the time in this person's mind and this person's feelings. And I'm hearing they want what they want, but it is what it is at the same time. So that's really interesting because it's like, of course they want this outcome, but they're almost like in this energy of like they're telling themselves they need to accept what it is right now or what it looks like right now. And then with this root chakra here as well too, like you could have made this person feel very safe at one point in time, and they could just feel like very safe and grounded with you. And maybe they're, because we have that tower as well too, like maybe they're feeling a little bit shooken up, especially with that self-esteem coming there right there too, like the blow to their ego. They kind of feel a little shaken at times. But let's go ahead and get some channel messages. I'm really interested to see the channel messages, and I'm interested to see the advice. So if you make me nervous. Ooh, shaken up for sure. 21:21 on the clock. Wow, I don't know what that was, but I just got a really sharp feeling in my head. Like the right side of my head. That was weird. Okay. What are some channeled messages? Thank you. So we have, I'm lying when I say I don't miss you or want you. You are my soulmate. At first I only wanted to hook up, but now I'm hooked. Dang. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So I kind of just had a conversation with Spirit in my head, like as I was shuffling. I was like, I heard like self-sabotage, like this person self-sabotaged. Oh, it's 22242, so 2222 on the clock too, as I'm looking at it. But that was so crazy. So oh dang it, what happened? So I was like, I was like, this person self-sabotaged, and then so I replied back in my head and I was like, why did they self-sabotage? And Spirit literally said, because they don't know how to act. Like, I think that means like they don't know how to act right. And I was like, okay. Literally right after that, it says, I'm embarrassed that I acted so immature. That was crazy. I lied so I wouldn't lose you. And I'm not good at the emotional stuff. Interesting. Okay. Let's get 2 more to fill the gap, and then we will talk about it, and then we'll get the advice for you as well too. So what are, can you just not do that? Thank you. It's going all over the place. It always happens with these channel messages. Like, I just, they'll be all over, and I just don't really feel like cleaning them up right now. So if we can just, thank you. So we have, I feel like I'm losing you. In the bottom of the deck, we have my heart's broken, and I felt called to check it out. So we're going to take that one, and then we're going to have this one at the bottom of the deck, which is, I miss you so much, but I'm too stubborn to tell you. Yeah, there's a lot of ego within this person that they seem to be fighting right now, but this kind of seems like, this makes a lot of sense for like what we were seeing in the tarot, like why they would be feeling that way. Like they definitely feel like they messed it up. With that 10 of Wands and that imagery of like that person falling and then like all of the wands going everywhere, they definitely feel like, yeah, they screwed it up and they let it slip away. Especially with this, I feel like I'm losing you. I feel like this person feels very torn because they're feeling your energy pull away, or at least they're feeling this sense of like, okay, so Spirit said your energy isn't pulling away for most of you, but because you still feel very strongly connected to this person, but in their eyes it's like it's slipping away. I'm almost getting the image of like sand, you know, when you try to hold up sand and it's just slipping beneath your fingers, and there's nothing they can do about it, but they're not doing anything about it. So it's like it's a double-edged sword, you know. And oh my gosh, a double-edged sword with that Ace of Swords where they're like grabbing, it's like they did this to themselves type of energy. But yeah, clearly this person's not good at the emotional stuff, and I feel as though we both with that Page of Cups, how we were talking about too, this could be an emotional immaturity because the Page is a very undeveloped energy. You know, we literally have the person saying like, I'm embarrassed that I acted so immature and I'm not good at the emotional stuff. So I do believe that these intense feelings, or the intensity of this connection, had this person shook, and I don't think that they were prepared to take care of you the way that you deserved. You know, I think this is a case of like, almost like, it's like this person has to learn how to treat the things and the people that what am I trying to say here? It's like, because I'm trying to, okay, so the way that I want to say it, I feel as though I'm not saying it the right way because, or I don't want to say it that way because I feel like it's almost objectifying you. It's like making you look like some object, and that's not what I'm trying to do. But basically, it's like this person is an undeveloped emotional energy. So it's like if you were to give, you know, a kid keys to a car and you say, take care of this car is very valuable, and that's why I don't want to like objectify you. Like, you're not a car, you're obviously amazing, and anyways, and you're priceless, but you'll get it, right? And you say, take care of this car, and this kid is so happy about the car, and they're like, I love this car, but also at the same time you gave this kid a car and it's probably not going to be able to take care of it. Like, he's probably going to wreck it and ruin it, you know what I'm saying? And that's like kind of where this person was on an emotional level. And I don't mean that in any way to bash them at all. It's just like, sometimes it just is what it is. Like, sometimes we're not able to handle certain situations as well. Like, we have to learn to grow, we have to heal, you know, there's other things. And I think you were something that was so valuable to this person, but at the same time, they didn't have the tools or was capable to handle it, if that makes sense. And so with that being said, it's like, it just struck all of these chords and all of these things. And honestly, it seems like a legit tower moment within this person, which I do think is going to be very healing for this person as well. And I'm sure there's obviously divine reasons why you and this person met and things like that. And it's healing on both ends, of course. But it's like, I don't know. It's like this person had gold and they didn't even know, and then they just like put it in their pocket and ran around all crazy with it, you know, just basically just asking for it to slip out. Obviously you're the gold and the valuable. See, I don't know how to do it without making an object, but like, you get it. I feel like you understand, you know. And it obviously would come from choices and things like that too, but I think the reason why the message is like this person doesn't know how or couldn't is because I think it goes a lot deeper than surface level. It's not because, you know, it's not because you weren't good enough. It has nothing to do with you. You couldn't have been more, done more, said something differently. You know what I'm saying? So if that's kind of your mindset, please let that go, because it's definitely this person, you know. Let's get some advice here, actually, on that note. Let's see what the advice is, see if it clears up anything. So we have feeling down, anxious, or overwhelmed. Reach out to people who have your back. Let them know how you feel. Oh, you're not alone, Pile 1. And whether you feel like that or not, sometimes we feel like we are very isolated, like we don't have connections and things like that. I mean, you... at the very least, but at the same time, it's the very most, because it's the best connection in the entire universe. You do have spirit. And with that being said, there's also another message here too, that sometimes we feel like no one else understands what we're going through, or no one else can help us. And I want you to know that there's other people that have gone through experiences just like this. And I know you probably know this logically, but sometimes it's so weird. It just helps to remember that we're not in this 100% alone, like as a collective. Like we all go through things, and we all have, you know, our own issues and stuff, and a lot of them are similar to your situations at times as well too. So just know that, you know, we are really just one big team as a collective, and I'm here to support you, you know, and I feel like spirit's here to support you, and that you do have support. So please try to find an outlet if you can when you are feeling very anxious or overwhelmed, as well as sometimes we have to remember we can't trust all the time every thought that pops into our head, or every feeling that pops into it. It's not that it's not there for a reason, but it's not necessarily the truth, okay? Sometimes our minds lie to us. Sometimes our anxiety lies to us. You know what I'm saying? And so to remember that as well, for sure too, that it's... And I feel like for a lot of you, venting some way would be very helpful, whether that's in a journal, whether that's to a trusted friend or to a trusted family member, as well as like in the comment section. Like, you know, if you feel like expressing yourself here or letting it out here, hey, I feel like it's a perfect outlet too. Let's see, what other advice do we have here for you though? Ooh, watch. I was just gonna say that too. So this says watch who you hang out with. They have influence over you. Choose your friends wisely. I was just gonna say that. I got a message when I said trusted source, to emphasize on trusted source. For some reason, there's a specific message saying that this person's family may not be a trusted source. And it's not because that this person's family is bad, but it's because obviously if this person, it's their family, they're going to be biased, or they're going to have this person's side, or whatever the case is. That's a specific message for some of you. But for others of you, yeah, like, you know, surround yourself with people that you can trust, and surround yourself with people that love you, because I promise you there are people out there that do love you, and I promise that you'll meet people out there that do love you as well too. And at the very least, if you feel as though you don't have anyone around you that loves you, you can be that best friend for yourself and love yourself enough to not put yourself around people that aren't going to take care of you emotionally or help you out, or even if they're just jealous as well too. Whatever the case is, you know, anyone that doesn't have your best interest right now, you're really being guided to not entertain as well too, especially, and if there's any type of drama as well involved on either side, or just people that bring drama in general, that's a sign as well for you to kind of stay away. Okay, so we have accept every part of you. You are light and dark, attractive and messy. Embrace it all. I love this message. This is one of my favorite cards in there because it's so true. Self-acceptance is the best act of, or one of the best acts of self-love as well too. And it comes with the acceptance of knowing that you're not perfect. You know, sometimes we get really caught up in our memories, or we get caught up in our thoughts, and we think, oh, well, I could have did this better, or why am I like this, or why did I do this? And the reason is because you're human, and it's because, you know, we make mistakes, and we do things that are cringe, or we do things that we regret later. You know what I'm saying? All of those things are just natural, a part of the human experience. And to accept those things is to accept yourself, and to, you know, love those things or to love yourself. And I think that's something that's very important. We need to give ourselves the grace and the space to know that we are going to make mistakes, and that's okay. It's all a part of our process. It's needed. It's honestly needed. Sometimes we need to fall on our butts to realize that we were doing the wrong thing, like, or we were going in the wrong direction, or sometimes, you know, people around us, they don't make us feel good, or they betray us, because we realize that we need to be surrounded by better people that wouldn't do that. And all of these things are just examples, but for the most part, like, if you accept all of the parts of yourself, no one can tell you who you are. No one can make you feel bad anymore about what you have or what you don't have, or how you look or anything like that. Because when you truly do accept those things, you know, and someone tries to say, like for example, like it says, like, you're messy or whatever, like, say if that was an insecurity of yours and you accept it, and someone else, and you're like, you know what, I am messy, like, I'm beautiful, my mess is beautiful, it's art to me, like, I know where everything's at, like, it's fine, and that's just how I am, and you know, I can be who I want to be, express myself the way I want to express myself. So then when someone else comes in and they try to say, like, ew, you're messy, you know, you're not going to be like hurt about it. You're going to be like, I know, and that's fine. Like, what is it to you, you know? But let's see what the last one says. The struggle is real. You are going through some tough stuff. You got this. Wow. I think this is a great card for validating your experience as well too. Like, sometimes we just have to realize that, or we have to realize, like, dang, like, times are tough right now, and that's okay, because, you know, you're definitely going to get through it. Spirit's not going to, or, you know, the universe isn't going to bring you anything that you can't handle. A lot of this stuff, sometimes we go through our toughest times and we come out better than ever. I know I can vouch for that as well too. Sometimes we go through struggles to realize we were never even needed to struggle in the first place, like, that we're taken care of regardless, even though the illusion tells us otherwise. That's something that, and the reason why I said that, which is actually really interesting that I said that, because that's something that, a message that I got from Spirit recently, was like, when it comes to, like, the lack, or when it comes to scarcity mindset, whether that's people, money, things like that, like, to have full trust is to think, like, to sit and think. And Spirit was like, if you knew that you were going to be okay, you know, regardless of what it looks like, what's happening, like, you knew that you were going to be fulfilled, like, you were going to be taken care of, you didn't have anything to worry about, you know, what would you choose? Like, and who would you be around? And that's where, like, our real creativeness gets to come out, or our real choices get to come out, is when we don't feel like we have to hold on to something because it's slipping away. Like, if we know that it's going to be okay, then we have more freedom to choose, you know, what it is that we want. So I feel like someone maybe needed to hear that as well right now. But also, I feel like I said in the beginning, this card is really coming out for you, Pile 1, to validate your own experience as well too. Just because sometimes we tell ourselves, like, oh, well, it's fine, like, other people have it worse, you know, but just because other people have it worse doesn't mean that you need to invalidate your own feelings, you know, as well too. So with that being said, it's okay. Be easy on yourself. You're going through a tough time right now, whether that's you're hurt, like this person hurt you, or you're just in a tough situation, or you're in a period in your life where it seems very confusing. You may seem a little lost, or whatever the case is, you know, again, give yourself that grace to allow yourself to struggle as well too. Like, you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to not have it all together, because you're human, and, you know, You would be like a robot or something if that was the case, you know. And unfortunately, society makes us feel like we have to have it all together. Society makes us feel like we have to be a certain type of way, or we're failing in life if we don't have this by this age. And that's just not true. Those are made up rules and that you don't have to follow. And I think what's beautiful about this, you know, this generation and the next generation and things like that is, you know, we really are breaking the mold for societal standards and things like that. Like, for example, there's a lot of people this day and age that just are choosing not to have kids. That's, you know, a societal expectation that was put on women, that, you know, your only job is to be a mom. That's when you grow up, and a lot of women are deciding, like, I want my freedom too. I want to do that too. You know what I'm saying? And I'll decide maybe one day if I want to have kids, but honestly, it's not a priority. And then to older generations, that's like, what? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having kids or anything like that. My point is that it's a choice, you know? That's the whole point. And so if you chose to do that, then that's just as much power to you. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, and then even if you didn't choose to have kids, it's most likely in your destiny, in your lifetime, to do it. So there's no point in comparing, you know, anything else to anyone else. But yeah, I don't know. I got off on a little tangent here. What I was saying was society, and the whole point was that just because you're going through a hard time does not mean that it's going to last forever. There will be a light at the end of the tunnel for you. I promise you. So please keep that faith. And even if you are struggling, I know for a fact, even the card says it, and Spirit knows that you are going to come out of this. You're going to survive. And just remember that you are loved. Even if it doesn't feel like it, I promise you, you are. You are so loved, and you are needed as well too. Okay? So thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already to the channel. And thank you to anyone who supports this channel in any way, like, shares, comments, any kind of support. You know I love you guys so much for that. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next reading. Bye! Hi Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the red jasper feather, then welcome. These are your messages. So I do know that red feathers can symbolize a lot of different things, but the things that come to mind here are courage, passion, and the ability to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. Oh, and vitality is what I'm hearing as well too. But so that could symbolize, you know, what this person is feeling, or this could just be like about this connection or this relationship, as well as they do symbolize good luck as well too. So let's go ahead and see. I guess they could symbolize, I know feathers have a lot of symbology, and I know the color red for sure is like passion and courage. Those are like the main things that I'm thinking of right now. But let's go ahead and get into your reading. Maybe we'll see what that's about. So Spirit, can you please tune me in here to my pile 2 situation, as well as tune me in and show me with the most clarity how this person is feeling about them and about this connection right now at this time, please. Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, so we have the 7 of Pentacles in the shadow aspect of this deck. How is this person feeling about pile 2 right now? What else can you tell us here? Okay, so we have the 9 of Cups. Oh, all right. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands in the shadow aspect. And we have the 9 of Cups in the shadow aspect as well. So if I can just be quite honest, one of the messages, well, that I keep kind of getting here so far is that there is kind of a lack of gratitude, or there was a lack of gratitude in this relationship or in this situation before. Like maybe this person didn't know what they had until it was gone. It's almost as if they took you and this connection for granted. But let's see a little bit. more. That was just like a strong message coming through first. So let's see. How is this person feeling right now about pile 2? And the Queen of Wands. This is, again, a very strong passion towards you. The fact that it's in the shadow aspect, I do believe, though, is this person may feel like, obviously, it's a no contact reading. They don't have access to that anymore. They don't have access to you. So we have the 3 of Wands in the shadow aspect, which this image is very interesting. It's compared to the light aspect. So the light aspect is like this 3 of Wands is like, all right, I'm going out and I'm getting it. You know, I'm gonna go get what I want. I'm gonna make it happen. Rather as this side, they're like sitting there kind of feeling a little hopeless. You know, it looks a little sad, and it looks like they don't feel like they have the necessary energy or the resources to make their goals and dreams happen, which is interesting because that's one of the things we said about the red feather, was that a big one is about, you know, making your dreams and your aspirations happen. And so with this being said, I feel like there was that energy of taking you for granted, not, you know, having, especially with this imagery, guys, with this 7 of Pentacles. Look, I feel like this was them when they had you. Like, they have everything. Look, they have this feast, they have, you know, everything that they would need in this picture, but they're just still not satisfied. And I think that's a problem, or was a problem, with this person before, because now what do they have? They have the 9 of Cups in reverse, which is kind of saying, well, you know, what they're wishing for, what they're wanting, they don't have anymore, or it's blocked, or they're not able to, you know, sorry, I got distracted by something on there, but they're not able to, you know, fulfill themselves in a way that they could have before. And it's like, I'm trying to look at the differences here. This almost looks like, so the roses are behind this person, whereas this person has them. Again, it's almost as like this energy of like they didn't see it. They were ungrateful. And I don't mean that in a way to bash them at all. Like, oh, this person's ungrateful. Oh, there's something wrong with them. I think this is just a lot of realizations that they're going through. We have the Ace of Wands in the light aspect here of like this passion. And then your feather symbolizes passion here too. So there's a lot of passion that they have for you. Sexual energy, desire, I guess you would say. There is a lot of desire here for you. But there's a lack of hope as well when it comes to that, or maybe a lack of realizations of how to get it back. Or it's like, I feel like, especially with the imagery on this 3 of Wands, it's like they do feel like at this time there's nothing they can do about it. And I think it's kind of upsetting, and it's stopping them from being, you know, fully fulfilled here within themselves, at least at this time. Of course, we can always find fulfillment in ourselves regardless. We don't need other people to make us feel fulfilled. But right now, I feel like this person isn't really feeling that way. And that kind of comes, you know, in a situation where you do have loss, or you don't have contact with somebody that you feel, especially, they could feel very energetically connected here with you, with this Queen of Wands as well too. And either way, because the Queen of Wands to me represents someone who is very attractive in the eyes of the person who it's coming out for. And you can tell this person is depicted in this card as someone who's very attractive. Regardless, this one seems a little bit naughty though, if I can be quite honest. This one seems a little more like, it looks a little more pure, you know, and they don't have cleavage, and they're like, I don't know. You guys get it. You get what I'm talking about. And then this one, so maybe it's like this desire for something that they can't have, like makes them want it even more. I could see that with this spread here too. Okay, let's get some clarifiers, and let's see. Then we're going to get some oracles as well as some channeled messages too. And then at the end, we're going to pull some advice for you. So why is the 7 of Pentacles here? We have the 3 of Pentacles, and we have the 6 of Wands. So right now, this person, I feel, okay, so the Six of Wands is in the light aspect, which is really cool. And so is the Three of Pentacles. And so I feel like this is, again, that person really missing your energy. Especially we have the Three of Pentacles, which is the collaboration card, which is you and this person. Like, I feel like they're thinking like, dang, like we could have been so good together. The Seven of Pentacles is an unfinished energy as well, too. It's almost an energy of like doubt at times. And it's almost an energy of unfinished business, I feel here in this particular reading, because the Seven of Pentacles isn't completed, but it's, you know, you do feel like you put in enough time and effort to see things growing, to see things sprouting, to, you know, and it just seems like it was incomplete here. And I think that's something that this person does regret and feels like they are missing here. They're missing your energy, and I feel like they're feeling like the Six of Wands would be like that completion to them. It would be like that, okay, we did it, like we made it happen. And I think that this person is somehow trying to work on a way to get this going, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like they're trying to have some sort of plan here in mind. We can see more about that later, but I definitely feel like strongly like they're like, this isn't over, I'm not done here. Like, that's not it. Okay, so why is this Queen of Wands? Oh, we have the Sun in the shadow aspect. Excuse my little censors. You know, YouTube gets real strict on the nudity, which is fine. But anyways, yeah, they feel like they don't have that anymore. Like, I feel like to you, because it's the Sun and the Queen of Wands, you are just some sort of like ray of sunshine in their life. Like, I think that, and it may be, again, like they didn't realize what they had until it was gone, but it's like you had such a presence in their life that was like so impactful in such a good way. Like, I feel like you have this, like, to them, you have this really warm, outgoing, like sexy energy, and I feel like feel starved out from it. Because look at this, guys. So upright, the Sun is obviously, it's usually a kid depicted and very happy, like frolicking, you know, there's the sunflowers. But then we have the Sun in reverse, and look, this imagery, this kid is starved and the sunflowers are wilted and the Sun's happy. So maybe they're like, that my sunshine is gone. And I am actually hearing, like, as I was saying that, I was hearing that song, that Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone song. So I think, you know, if I get a song in here, that's going to be your channel song too. So I got to remember that. Actually, I wish I could go write that down. I'll remember it. I'll remember it when I look at the Sun card. But yeah, that ain't no sunshine when she's gone. So they're feeling the loss of your energy. They're feeling the loss of your presence. And I think there's big realizations of what an impact you had on them and what a joy you were. And it's just like with that collaboration, the energy, like you were such a special addition, an enhancement in their life. And now it's like they're feeling like, you know, oh my gosh, my left ear is ringing so loud right now. So loud, in fact, that was a bit distracting. But yeah, for the most part, they're like, my sunshine is gone. Or maybe it's like they feel burned as well too. Like sometimes the Sun can be so impactful to the point where you feel burned or left, you know, scarred from this situation. I'm not saying that, you know, you burn them or scarred them on purpose or anything like that. It's just kind of that energy as well too. But yeah, you are such a light, like an energy to them. And it's like you have such a life force energy, and it's like now that they don't have access to that anymore, they're feeling it. And I don't want to assume that this person could have been some sort of energy vampire, but for some of you, this person may have wanted a lot more energy from you than maybe you needed to give. And I'm only saying that because if you cut off your source of energy and this person is starving, that means they may have been taking a little bit more from you than they were giving as well, you know, and that's an unfair balance here. But let's see. And then then we have the Six of Swords in the shadow aspect as well too, which is like, I'm trying to move on. this boat doesn't have any water, you know, it's kind of stuck there. So it's like this person's like, I'm trying to move on, but I feel stuck here. I can't. I still feel very stuck in the same spot. Whereas in the light aspect, you know, it's okay, you're moving on to better things, you know, calmer waters, just in a better place in general. They're headed towards the light here. In this imagery, they're saying like, I can't move on. I feel very stuck. There's nothing I can do. Okay, so why is this Nine of Cups here? We have the Ace of Wands, that passion, that drive of like, I know what I want. This person wants you, like, bad. Like, this person wants you on a sexual level, and this person wants you in their presence. They want you on a physical level. And I heard strongly that they just really miss you. Oh. But yeah, there's a lot of passion here. And isn't that crazy how like with the red feather, we were like passion, courage, reaching your goals. And these are all things so relevant here. I love that. All right, what about this Three of Wands in the shadow aspect? Why is this person, I just feel like with this Three of Wands too, it has nothing to do with the realizations of what they want. Like they still want what they want, which is you. And I just feel like this person, they're not optimistic about the future right now. I feel like they're just feeling very down because of the situation. And so their outlook right now isn't as optimistic as maybe it once was. What can you tell me about this Three of Wands here, please? Oh my gosh, just as I say that, we have the Star reversed. Yeah, their hope is kind of diminishing as well. And their outlook isn't as positive as it once was. Bottom of the deck here, ooh, we have the Ace of Pentacles in the shadow aspect, which is really interesting because I feel as though this is almost like this person feeling like there was some sort of missed opportunity, or they're still trying to hold on because the grip on this side is extremely strong. It's like, I'm holding on for dear life. You know, I need this. You give it to me right now. Whereas this one, it's like, okay, I'm just taking it. It is what it is. Look at, it's all abundant over here. Whereas this person feels very needy right now. Like they're like, I need this, and it's like they're not willing to let go at the same time, because this is like the hand of like someone that would say, you need to pry this pentacle out of my cold dead hands before I give it up to you. And I think that's telling of this energy here as well too, like on what it is that they're trying to hold on to in regards to the situation. But yeah, they're just not feeling very optimistic at this time. Their hope, and the Star in reverse doesn't mean that there is no hope. It doesn't mean anything like that, but it does mean that, you know, they're not being very optimistic at this time, which if you are in a separation with this person, this is a no contact reading, it does kind of, it makes sense, you know. And so right now they're kind of just sitting there wondering or pondering it in a way. They're not really doing anything about it. They're not taking the next steps, the next actions. They feel like they should, or they feel like they want to, but they're not doing anything about it right now because they don't feel like it would be in their best favor, or they don't feel like it's going to work out. But the thing is, they want it to work out with the Six of Wands here. They would love that. I think they're just like, they are just a little hopeless right now. Okay, let's get a couple oracles for you, and then we're going to get some channeled messages, which I know a lot of you, that's like your favorite part, so excited. The channel messages, I mean. Okay, so what else can you tell us, Spirit, here about how this person is feeling? We have freedom coming out. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Interesting. I think right now, like especially with that Sun in reverse and the Queen of Wands in reverse and all of this, I think right now this person feels like you have a lot of, you hold a lot of their power to be happy right now. And because of all this regret, and because of all of this, like, I want to say reminiscing, and this, you know, kind of sitting here contemplating, they may not feel like they, you know, they're just not happy right now, even though this card is coming to obviously remind them to say that, you know, you have the power. And that's kind of what we were talking about with that Nine of Cups as well too. I was like, even though this person feels this way, that does not mean that it's true. Like, this part, we all have, you know, the capability to emotionally fulfill ourselves, but sometimes when we get so caught up in situations and we're feeling very strongly, it's understandable that, you know, we can't see that at this time, or we don't feel like that. But yeah, I just feel like this person misses that happiness that they had with you. And I feel like with this freedom, they could also be feeling quite the opposite. They could be feeling quite restricted when it comes to their emotions and things like that. Like, they feel kind of stuck at a point. I meant to say sometimes, but like, I don't know what was trying to come out of my mouth. Excuse me. All right. What else, Spirit? Can you tell us? We have trust at the bottom, which is I accept. What does it say? I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. I don't know why I was trying to read that off like memory right now. So funny. Oh, we have gratitude coming in reverse, and patience. What we were just talking about, like there was like a lack of gratitude a bit for this person. And you know what's crazy too is that I think that this person, especially with the Seven of Pentacles and this imagery right now, like they have it all, you know, it seemingly, and I know we were talking about that, but it's like they don't have you, so they're not happy. And this makes a lot of sense, and this is very telling. It's like, okay, yeah, you can give this person like everything that they ask for, but they don't have that one person, you know, that actually makes them happy, or they don't have that person that they really want in their life. And so it all just seems kind of like eh. And I think that's why the gratitude is coming out as well too, because it's like they're probably not grateful for a lot of things right now because they're so focused on what they don't have, which is you. But it says, I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. And then we have patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. And I think that this person is a little impatient right now as well. They kind of want to know what's going to happen. They want to know if it's going to work out. They want to know how you're feeling and things like that. But I think the patience is something that they know that they need to be. Because I think that they know that if they push too hard, they may ruin it for some reason. They may kind of, or that could be something that they're feeling like they're wanting to be really careful as well too. Like if they push too hard, they might push you away, or they might completely screw it up for good. So I think patience is something that they're trying to have, but it's also giving them some sort of anxiety here is what I'm hearing, because they're like, well, I don't know how long I can wait, or I don't know how long pile 2 will wait. And I think the uncertainty is bringing that doubt once again, and that's why, which actually makes sense, we have trust. You know, they're kind of having no choice but to just trust. Oh, and look, under that, guys, we have, oh my gosh, I can't even make this up, we have woman holding a heart under that, and then we have anxiety, is what we were just talking about. That's so interesting. Yeah, this person is thinking about this, and it's making them nervous. Like the more I think the more that the time passes, they're like, I don't know, does pile 2 still gonna care, you know, like, do they still have feelings for me and all of this stuff? And it makes sense. It's, you know, I can see why they feel that way, of course, but I also don't know every detail before too, so I don't like to put too much. I like to keep it as unbiased and neutral as possible, because it's always just like a 20 to 30, sometimes 40-minute reading. I can't really get you know, what had happened. Like, I don't know all the details. So basically is what I'm saying. So like, I don't know why this person's in the situation is what I'm saying. Like, it could have been their fault. It could have been something. All I know is how they're feeling right now. So actually, speaking of that, let me get comfy real fast. Let's get some channeled messages. What are some messages that this person would like to say to pile 2, or pile 2 may need to know right now at this time, please? Ooh, the first one is, I miss you so much, but I'm too stubborn to tell you. Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about right there. Like, that's the information that I'm like, I don't want to be all like, oh, you know, to this person, if that's the case. Like, if it could all just be fixed, and I'm not saying this is true, like, this is obviously just an example, but like, if it could all just be fixed by them communicating directly, then I'm like, come on, you know, get it together. Okay, so what are some other channel messages this person wants pile 2 to know? I just want to hear your voice again. Oh, we did say that too when I was like, oh my gosh, this person just misses you. We have I miss you so much, and then we have I just want, yeah, this person really does miss you. That's crazy. Like, and I mean that's crazy as in like there's like a longing coming through here from this side. Okay, any more messages here for my pile 2? I'm starting to fall for you. We have I want to marry you one day, but then we have I'm not going to chase you. Which that right there just sounds so idiotic to me. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be mean to this person or anything like that. But that just, I want to marry you one day, but I'm not going to put in the effort to chase you. That just doesn't make any damn sense to me. And those are the things right there that, first of all, are red flags. And those are the things right there that just, I don't know. And it's so petty. Like, there's a lot that, you know, that comes up in these readings and really heavy, really deep stuff that I can, like, I'm like, oh, I'm compassionate about, obviously, like, for the side that deserves it or whatever. But you know what, you get what I'm saying. And I'm like, oh, I understand where this is coming from. But that right there, that just, no, unacceptable. And it's like, I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to chase you, pile 2. Like, okay. I'm sure that there's a lot of people that would. Okay. And I think that's maybe that lack of gratitude as well too. But honestly, if this person's not going to chase you because there's a lot of fear involved, that kind of does change it. If it's just pride, if it's just ego and just stubbornness, that's different. But if it, I mean, and I'm not saying the fear makes it okay, and that doesn't make it any more acceptable on your half, but it's like, it's not as, it's just more sad. It's more of a sad thing, you know, like, oh, but I'm not saying that it makes it okay, like for you to be like, okay, I'm going to accept this type of behavior. No. But it just, you get what I'm saying. It makes it more sad. I wanted to reach out, but I kept stopping myself. This is like the same message in so many different forms. I miss you, but I'm too stubborn to tell you. I want to marry you. I want to hear your voice, but I'm not going to chase you. All right, that's the stubbornness and the pride. For sure. I wanted to reach out, but I kept stopping myself. All right. That's so funny that it was like the same message, like in just different fonts, different forms. All right. What else does this person want pile 2 to know? Okay, flying out here as we have I feel like I'm losing you, which was crazy because right when I said that, or right when that flew out, I was like, okay, like I was like, all this is going on, but we were just talking about how this person was feeling towards this missed opportunity, like wanting to grip it and hold on. And literally, I swear guys, I was about to say it, and then it says I feel like I'm losing you. It's like, well, yeah, but you're not doing anything about it. Why isn't this person doing anything about it? Is there still a chance? Okay. Like, maybe they would if they knew there was still a chance. Still doesn't, I guess you guys would know better than I do at this point, because, like, on the reasoning part, you know? Or maybe some of you are just as frustrated as I am about this. Okay, let's get, like, one more channeled message. You got one more chance, buddy, say something. You are so beautiful. There you go. That's what we want to hear. I'm just kidding, but that's so funny. I was like, you have one more chance to say something good. And that comes out. You are so beautiful. We have, what do they have that I don't? And then we have, I want you all to myself, as well as I'm starting to believe in that twin flame stuff. Okay. Interesting. Always so interesting, these readings. That's why I say that so much. I can't help it. I do. It just naturally comes out because I'm like pondering. I'm pondering it. Like I'm thinking about it. I'm putting, I'm connecting the dots. And so I'm like, interesting. But people have commented before that I say it too much. And now every time I say it, I'm like, ooh. But you know what? It's interesting. I'm not going to be ashamed of it. And it's true. What do you want me to say? Oh, boring. No, these are interesting readings to me, okay? So, excuse me, I'm going to express myself the way that I feel like it. Okay, let's go ahead and, should we talk about this anymore? I feel like there's just so much this person wants to say and wants to do, but they're holding themselves back. Why they're holding themselves back? I do believe this is pride. I do believe it's probably some fear under there. There's usually fear involved somewhere when it comes to this, and that could be like fear of rejection. For sure, I'm getting confirmation. Yeah, fear of rejection. But a lot of it has to do with ego, and fear of rejection can be a part of the ego as well too, because the ego hates being rejected. The ego hates being hurt. It tells us that it's dangerous and all of that other stuff as well too. But all in all, what I want to say is that, the desire is here, the attraction is here. But of course, I'm going to always say that you deserve someone that, will put their pride to the side and to express themselves. Now, I'm not saying that this person never will as well too, because I do think that there's a good chance that this person would reach out if that's something that you want. Now, for some of you, if you have this person blocked, and you said, leave me the hell alone, I never want to speak to you again. This does seem like the kind of person that would somehow, or I'm saying sometimes, because I'm kind of getting told too that it's but that would respect your boundaries as well too. So in that sort of way. But for the most part, it's this person that's really holding themselves back. And I think that with this, I miss you so much, but I'm too stubborn to tell you. Communication could obviously been something from day one here that wasn't up to par, or at least on this person's side. If you felt from the beginning that, you always had to kind of guess how this person is feeling, or maybe you were a little bit confused at times, a lot of that is a red flag, or at least a sign that there needs to be some sort of communication, because you should never feel like you don't know how the other person feels completely, if that makes sense, because we all have our doubts, and for the most part, a lot of these readings, like the feeling ones, I've noticed are straight up confirmations to the other people, which means that they're very intuitive. You guys are very intuitive, and you can pick up, or at least for the most part, what's going on. But if you're confused the whole time in the connection, saying what, I don't know how this person feels, they don't express themselves, they say one thing, they do another, that's definitely a sign of there needs to be some more communication and some honesty here. And clearly this person's, I don't think their communication is their strong suit. But on that note, let's go ahead and get some advice here for you. So what advice do we have for my beautiful pile twos? You are so beautiful to me. Okay, don't make decisions when you're emotional. Let the intensity pass. Make a move when you're centered. Man, oh man, oh man, do I wish I listened to this advice so many times in my life, coming straight from an Aries moon. I, for a long time, used to make decisions exactly then when I was emotional, and very fast too, and they used to get me into trouble. But now I see one of the biggest lessons that I've learned, especially about connections and about obviously combating with those energies within me, is I've learned so many times that if I have to just waited, it would be different. I would see things differently. And sometimes when we are so smitten by somebody, or we are so infatuated, or we feel such strong feelings at this time, we definitely aren't making the correct decisions that are best for us and for the situation at hand. And I think that this is coming through to say as well too. Yeah, sometimes we kind of have to put our emotions to the side, and we have to put on those truth goggles, or I guess wipe those windshields, wipe off that emotional stuff. I don't even know what you call it, but you get it, wipe those clean and see it for what it is and act accordingly on that. And sometimes one of the hardest things to do as well is to act accordingly over your, like, basically, like, if you feel like your actions need to be more aligned with your self-worth, but your desire for somebody is so strong, I know at times that can be such a hard thing to do. And also we live in a society that shames that as well too. But I'm here to tell you that I completely understand that. And that's something that is so normal. And don't ever feel down on yourself for wanting something that you know is not good for you, or wanting something that you know you deserve better, because sometimes we just want what we want. And there are reasons for that as well too. Like, you know, especially once you start healing and stuff, you kind of see. But for the most part, it doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make anything wrong with you. And a lot of the times, you know, we have every right to want somebody, or we have every right to feel the way that we feel. But then there comes a point in time where our decisions need to be more aligned, like I said, with the self-worth. And that's something that you can do, and that's something that you will do. I see that for you, you know, and maybe I see it for you, a lot of you already doing that. And so this could just be, again, validation for, like, it's okay to want those things as well. But yeah, I mean, I kind of got off there. I got off a little bit there, but for the most part, I think this is about stepping out of that emotional side and that want side and seeing what it truly is. And sometimes that can be really hard. So sometimes we don't have any choice but to just wait it out. If you feel like you can't do that, then just wait it out. Sometimes the best thing we can do, especially if we're feeling irrational, or we're feeling emotional, or we're feeling like we're losing something and we have to make a decision right now. Sometimes the best decision is to just not make a decision at all, especially right now, especially if it's an important decision, you know. It's always good to be in a calm mindset. And I think that you'll have a lot more realizations. Okay. I'm not going to say that. Fine. Okay, so there's a specific message. Obviously, you would be female. This is for the female group here. And I say obviously because when you hear the message, you'll be like, okay, it's obvious. Sometimes you may make decisions when you're ovulating, or make those kind of emotional decisions when you're ovulating. And that could have a lot to do with, like, your sexual desires, or it could be a lot of desire as well too. But if you do track your periods, or start tracking your periods, you'll see when you're ovulating, and you'll see a pattern there too. So be mindful of that. That is a specific message. Yeah. And it's usually the opposite. Usually it comes, I don't know the exact amount of days, but I know that it's like it's after your period, or like it's like a couple weeks after, or sometimes a couple weeks before, because it's the time, you know, like, okay, you get it. But like, for example, I get a lot of the time, and mine actually switches too, but I get my period on, this is such TMI, I'm so sorry, and that's why I was like, I don't want to say this, but you know, we're already here, no shame. A lot of times I get my period on the new moon. And so that's, and it kind of makes a lot of sense, because that's kind of a time for me to, like, rest and stuff. But what happens is I end up ovulating around the full moon, which makes me effing crazy. So, and I had to learn as well too, to be aware of that, that it's even more heightened. And I'm sure it's just a cosmic, you know, sense of humor, because those two things kind of go well together, you know, and it's like those energies, like, they enhance each other, both of them. So to me, it's kind of ironic and funny. But yeah, so sorry if you're like a male listening to this. You're like, just know those messages weren't for you. But hey, we're not going to be ashamed of what our bodies do naturally, right? Right. But yeah, that was a message specifically for my females out there. All right. Fear equals feedback. The fear that keeps you safe, and the fear that holds you back, learn the difference. Ooh, okay. Interesting. So what are your emotions? I feel like there's a message here too, not just only fear as well. But obviously fear is a big teacher for sure. It's one of the biggest in our lifetimes. But what are your emotions trying to tell you as well too? If you feel like rejected, or you feel that scarcity kind of mindset to where, you know, if you don't have something or this person, you're never going to have it again, like you want to hold on, you know what I'm saying? And those are just examples, but what are your emotions really trying to tell you? There's messages and clues for you within those, so really pay attention to why you're feeling those things. And honestly, you know, fear holding us back is one of the saddest things, like we were just talking about with that person. It is so sad. And I feel like it obviously is to a certain extent, and it depends on what it is. But, you know, for somebody, say for example, somebody, you know, had a lot of dreams and aspirations and stuff, but they let fear stop them, or they didn't let fear, or they let fear like hold them back a lot, you know, it like at the end of their life, on their deathbed, or maybe even in spirit as well too, when they look back on this lifetime, one of the biggest regrets, you know, I think you could have as a human is really holding yourself back from a lot of things due to fear. And so it's just important. It's important for us to realize where we are holding ourselves back, and where we can thrive and where we can flourish as well too, because a lot of the times, a lot of the things that are meant for people, or people's biggest dreams or biggest goals and aspirations, or the lives that they really, you know, desire and want to live, are usually buried or hidden right beneath that fear of going out and getting it. And it takes a brave person to do it as well too. Like self-development and striving for better, and just change in general, to break out of cycles, is not for the weak. It's not for the faint of heart. It takes a brave person to want to be better, and to do things better, and to want to have better, and to take that action as well too, and to let go of all of the fears, to let go of everything that they were holding on to, you know, to really become the person that they want to be. It takes a special kind of person. So if that's something that you're doing, just know that, you know, that your journey is definitely supported. It's by spirit. It's one that is definitely encouraged, and it's very special. Ooh, you are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. I love that. We always need to be reminded as well, you know, that we're not alone. One of the biggest like helps is spirit, especially if you are developing your psychic abilities. I know it's easier to remember you're not alone, but it still doesn't, there's still something about the human experience, you know, and that separation, man, that it's that illusion of separation. It's still so hard to remember sometimes that we're not the only people that experience things. Like if we experience heartache or we experience tough times, it's so hard to remember that there's other people that experience it too, and that we really aren't alone. It's a collective experience a lot of the time. That's why even like in past lives, there's certain collectives that have like almost experienced the exact same certain type of past life and situations as well too. And even in doing these collective readings, like a lot of them will come out with the same type of energies or the same type of issues. And it just goes to show that we really aren't alone, that we really are in this together, and we are just all just doing the best that we can. And I think it's important to find support in any way, shape, or form, whether that's spirit, or that's friends that you can trust, and family as well, or just anyone to, you know, reach out to. Just remember that you aren't alone. And if you feel alone and you feel like you don't have those resources, then just know that they will be coming. It's not going to last forever. Sometimes we have to be put in a hermit phase as well too, but just know that it doesn't last forever, that, you know, you will find your people as well too. But yeah, you're not alone. I feel like you are strongly supported and guided by spirit as well too. So don't forget to always call on your ancestors as well. They're coming through actually very strong to say, you know, we're here, we love you. And I'm always one to say, call on your ancestors for support. And I don't think that there's any like better or worse, you know, for support, but I do know that your ancestors have lived a life on earth as well too, so they understand exactly, you know, a lot of the times how you feel, and they have such a special perspective on this experience as well too, and they have so much love for you as well too, and they're waiting just to help you and to guide you at the same time. So I feel like at times it almost, you know, that's why our ancestors are so special to us, and are so important in about the spiritual, you know, experience and process as well, is connecting with them, because they've walked in your shoes at times, or even sometimes even more challenging, and you know, they've been in more challenging positions, and they have such a beautiful perspective that and helpful information as well as gifts too, that they just would love to share with you, pile 2. So yeah, so connect with them. That's obviously the message coming through there too. Connect with them. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave this reading here for you. Thank you so much if you stayed till the end. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Thank you to anyone who supports the channel in any way, which is liking, sharing, even if you're just supporting from afar, you know, or commenting or whatever. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really do. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next pick a card. Bye. Hi pile 3, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the blue apatite palm stone, welcome. These are your messages. So today we are asking about that person on your mind that you are not in contact with at this time, and how are they feeling? What are their thoughts, feelings about you and about the connection as well? So I'm going to ask Spirit here to please tune me in to your situation, as well as tune me into how this person is feeling about you and about the situation at this time, as well as anything else you may need to know. We will see if that comes up. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So Spirit, how is this person feeling about pile 3 right now? What's going on with them during this separation or during this no contact? How are they feeling? Okay, so we have the 7 of Cups in the shadow side, as well as the 9 of Cups in the shadow side. And then we have the Ace of Wands. All right. We have the 9 of Wands in the shadow side. But we have the Knight of Wands in the light aspect. All right. That's kind of a lot of cards, a lot more cards than I anticipated, but let's go ahead and talk about it. I feel like right now this person's kind of worried about you or about the situation with the 7 of Cups and the imagery on here. It's like their mind has not been their friend lately about this, and I think that with this imagery, especially with the light aspect where this guy is like passed out, uncomfortable and snoozing because their thoughts are happy and good about this. I think this is definitely saying that this person does tend to lose sleep about this situation. Like, especially I think their mind runs a lot at night, and I think that it's something that's hard for them to accept, and it may be something that they kind of try to block out during the day as well, and that's why it may kind of all come at night as well. There's just there's kind of fear here in this. It's almost giving me the 9 of Swords type of energy, but with the Cups, it's saying that it's like these emotions that they're feeling as well too. And it looks like there's like things trying to attack them, and I do believe that it's like this person's imagination kind of getting the best of them and like kind of running in the opposite direction here. And I think this has a lot to do with the future of this connection and what's going to happen, because we have the Ace of Wands and we have the 9 of Cups. Plus this 9 of Wands is telling me this person would love to know if that spark is still there, or at least if you feel it too. I feel like that's kind of the question in mind, is like, okay, like, do they still feel it too, or do they still want it too? And then we have the Nine of Wands, though. I think that with the Nine of Wands and the shadow aspect, there could have been... I mean, it's different for each and every one of you. I was going to say there could have been a lot that had happened between you and this person, but that necessarily doesn't have to be the case here. But I do believe that right now it's like this person is trying to like rest, you know, because in this angle, the person is feeling strong, you know, they're feeling like they can take it on and continue going, which is like an endurance type of energy for the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is all about resilience as well. But it's coming out in the shadow aspect, which means that I think maybe like whatever had happened, it's like you and this person may have needed to take a break, or could be on some sort of break right now, if that's what you call it. But it's like they're needing to just kind of chill, like chill out, if that makes sense. Let's go ahead and see some more. So what is the Seven of Cups here, please? Yeah, so we have the Fool in the shadow aspect, we have the Ace of Swords in the shadow aspect, and we have the Seven of Wands in the shadow aspect, which is like, okay, what they're kind of worried about is there going to be another chance? Are they being stupid about this? Are they thinking rationally? I don't know. You know, am I blocked forever? Or, you know, should I keep them blocked forever? We have the Hierophant at the bottom in the upright. And I think that the Fool kind of coming out in the shadow aspect too is like, am I being stupid? Am I being naive? Am I a fool for thinking this way? Am I a fool for wanting these things? Definitely, definitely. And I think that with this Ace of Swords coming out in the shadow aspect too, this is maybe them like wanting to reach out, but kind of stopping themselves. And also feeling like, you know, whatever they say or do, it's kind of like a double-edged sword here. Like they're holding, you know, the sword at this. And the more they kind of hold back, or the more they kind of try to resist this, the more they're going to cut themselves, and the more they're going to hurt themselves as well too. And I think there is an energy of this person they're just tired with the Seven of Wands in the shadow aspect, kind of like this Nine of Wands. And I think it's like maybe they can only hold on for so long. 555, right, when I look at the clock. So that could be a significant angel number to you, or to this connection. It does represent change though, and it does represent challenges as well. But like I was saying, I feel like this person is questioning a lot of their own choices, and questioning what it is they should do. Should they stay strong, and should they, you know, because I do think there is some sort of resistance here to this, because they may feel stupid if they, you know, want to give this a shot, or they reach out, or whatever the case is, you know. I think it's like and at one point in time, they could have been very careless, and that could cause them to be in this type of energy here as well with the Seven of Cups. I think so, for some of you with the Seven of Cups too, one of the fears that they have is that maybe you moved on, or you have other people as well too. I'm not saying that's true, or I'm not saying that's, you know, rational or logical or whatever, but I do feel like for some of you, that's something that kind of bothers them. And I'm hearing it's just altogether too the fear of losing you, like for good. Okay, so with the Nine of Cups here, we have the Emperor on the shadow aspect. So the Nine of Cups is a, you know, it's a card of fulfillment. It's a card of wish fulfillment, of getting what you want and being fulfilled and being happy and all that stuff too. This is coming through blocked, and the fact that we have blocked masculine energy from here, from the Emperor here, kind of coming through as well too, is like this person is feeling like they don't have control over this. And I think that they may put a lot of, I think unknowingly and subconsciously, they may put a lot of their blame like on their feelings and their well-being and their emotions on you at times. Like they may be like, well, pile 3 made me feel this way, or you did this and it made me feel that way, or you decided to walk away, now I'm left. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that. It's like there's an energy here of like maybe needing to take responsibility for their own well-being, at least their own emotional state. And I don't mean that in a way that's like insensitive. It's in a way that would be empowering. You know, it's empowering to not let anybody make you feel a certain type of way, and that kind of thing. But I do believe the Emperor is kind of coming, and it's a very defeated It's a very, very defeated type of energy, and it's a very, like, I don't have control over this anymore. Because the Emperor can be a bit of a control freak, or at least he has a lot of control over his empire, and now he feels like he doesn't. And so maybe now it's like he feels like it's blocked. Like the Nine of Cups kind of coming in reverse is kind of like almost like a heart chakra block here for me. It's like, I can't have what I want now. So what's the point of even trying, is what I'm hearing. Which, that is very sad. All right, what is this Ace of Wands about? What is this Ace of Wands about for pile 3? We have the King of Wands upright. I like that. That's the opposite of what we were just talking about. It's like, and the King of Wands is a very passionate energy as well too. He's a passionate person. And that is very fitting for these to be basically almost the only cards. Oh, we have the Nine of Wands upright too. So all the upright ones are the passionate cards, or the fire energy cards, are that spark. So I do believe that this person has this desire for you still, and they have this want to continue this flame as well, like to continue that spark. And I love how we just went from this very defeated energy to this King of Wands of like, I want to take back control now. I want to, I want to see what's going on. And that would be, obviously, the only control this person really has is over themselves. And that would be them, either whether it's expressing themselves or it's doing whatever they need to do to get what it is that they want. Now that can sound very manipulative, and I guess it just depends on the person. Because as I was saying that, I was like, well, I hope that's not like, well, I'm going to say what I need to say. Like, the way I meant it is like, all right, I need to do what I need to do. Like, I need to play my part. You know what I'm saying? As in like that action, not in a manipulative way. Maybe if it was reversed, because the imagery on here does feel very controlling too, and like manipulative, very angry here. But this one's more gentle looking. He has kind eyes. But yeah, no, this is about realizing your passion and doing what it is that you can to get it. And I love that it's with the Ace of Wands. This is like that drive, like what I feel, the spark, that's going to light this fire to get me to this position. It's the inspiration, and that could have been this energy, sometimes it is like a lot of polarity as well too. When you feel so low, that does kind of start that spark, that it ignites that fire to get you to where you need to be by experiencing exactly what it is that you don't want, and it's ironic, but it sure is true. Okay, so what about this Nine of Wands here? Why is this Nine of Wands here, please? Oops. Okay, so we have two cards coming out here. We have the Queen of Cups kind of coming in neutral, I guess you would say. But we have the Queen of Cups. We're just going to put it upright. We'll talk about, we probably end up talking about both sides anyways. We have the Queen of Cups, and then we have the Three of Pentacles on the shadow side. And this imagery is really powerful as well too, because upright, everything's kind of together. It seems like everything's working out and everything's going swell. There's even an angelic, it looks like, oh, I think that's a statue because it's falling over. But yeah, for the most part. And then we have it in the shadow where it's all tore up and broken and wrecked. And it almost makes me sad with this imagery as well too, because I feel like this is something that you and this person may have wanted to work hard for, or maybe had worked hard for as well. But I feel like it's almost that it's a powerful imagery saying that, it's been ruined or it's been ripped away. And I think that it's left this person with that Nine of Wands in reverse, feeling a little helpless and a little hopeless at times. And with the Queen of Cups coming here as well too, this is saying though that I feel this is strongly saying that regardless of like what has happened or the chaos or the wreckage, you still like have their heart, or you hold a very important place in their heart. Like they just have this emotional side for you, if that makes sense. Like, basically, like, you pull on this person's heartstrings regardless. But I think that with this 9 of Wands in reverse and this 3 of Pentacles in reverse, there could have been a lot of damage that had happened, or there could have just been a lot of things that were said and done that this person may be thinking or feeling like, I don't know if we can bounce back from this. I don't know if we can fix this. I don't know if I should even try. But the feelings are there, you know, the love is there. It's just, I think it's more complicated than that, is what this person's really feeling right now. And then let's go ahead and do this 9 of Wands, because this is the one I was interested in, because I'm like, why is the Knight of Wands here? Pesky Knight of Wands, what are you doing here? Sometimes it could just mean the passion and the flow and the direction, but sometimes this Knight of Wands comes in these relationship readings and just screws it all up. I'm just kidding. But that's just because, you know, the Knight of Wands, his energy is a little sporadic. He's not known to be able to stay in one place for long, and a lot of the times that can be destructive, you know, for connections, if you know what I mean. Basically, Knight of Wands can be the little player, but I'm not saying that's what it is yet. All I'm saying is let's see. So why is this Knight of Wands here, please? What can you tell us about that? Ooh, we have the Chariot up in the light. Okay. So this person has it, and it feels like they do at one point in time. And I feel like it goes back and forth, because I felt like this person was depleted. But then when it's like at times they feel like they can't, and then at times they feel like they can. And we've seen that here and here. We feel like, you know, with this defeated energy, and then empowered energy. Now we have a defeated, and then, so I think this is very telling of like the cycles and the processes that this person kind of goes through as well too, which is perfectly normal. I feel like we all kind of do that at times too. Like we know what we want, we have this desire, and sometimes we kind of let doubt creep in, or sometimes when time passes, we feel just differently. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, you know, they kind of just ebbs and flows with this person. But now I feel like this person, at the end of the day, like regardless of everything, at the end of the day, they feel like they have the desire to pull through, or to want to work this out, because with the Chariot in the light form, I feel like this is like, all right, I can overcome this, we can overcome this, like just by, and I think sometimes this Knight of Wands can be a little bit naive, if I can be quite honest, because I think it's like just by pure will and desire, they're like, this person's like, I can do it, let's do it, let's try again, you know, we can go. And I think there's another aspect to this though, of like all of the other things that I think that times this person doesn't take into consideration, if that makes sense. And that's why that Knight of Wands can be a little, you know, fast. It's like a little like, all right, this is how I feel, we're gonna do it. But they're not really taking into consideration of all the other things that come with it. And I think that's this person's process as well too. Like they may be the type that acts on impulse a lot of the time as well too, and that could be something, but their impulse in this case is like, let's push through. Okay, yeah, and then we have the Two of Pentacles in the shadow aspect as well too, which could, you know, the Two of Pentacles is about change and priorities as well too. And I think that sometimes this person may bite off a little bit more than they can chew. That would definitely be an example of that. But let's see some oracles, and we're going to get some channeled messages as well as some advice. But what are some other messages here about, ooh, envy? Wow. This person could have a very jealous side of them, but I think that this envy is like this, I'm getting like almost like I want what I can't have type of energy. And then it says I am the same as everybody else with different challenges. They may, you know, kind of, bottom of the deck we have the thinking woman. Okay, so they may at times think that other people have it better, or like their situation is worse and all of this other stuff. And I think one of the things is that they don't take into consideration is that, yeah, like everyone really does go through their own challenges, and just because someone's okay right now doesn't mean that they weren't okay before, and, you know, vice versa. And I think that's kind of coming, for some reason, that's kind of coming to the surface here, because this person just may almost at times use their circumstances as an excuse for certain behaviors. Now, that could be a specific message. Of course, it'll resonate with you. Like, you'll be like, yeah, you know, but if not, then just obviously ignore that. It could just be this person is really, and I think that it's both, actually. For most of you, I think that this person does get really jealous and they do not want to see you with anyone else. Of course, we have all this passion here and all this other stuff, but it's like, it may be a little bit of a double standard at times, because if this is the type of person that does what they want to do, you know, you can do what you want to do. Or they may just want to, it's like a grass is always greener type of situation. Like, they may never be okay with just one spot. And I keep referring to that Knight of Wands, but I'm telling you, man, telling you when it comes out. Oh my gosh, guys, it says, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Okay, that makes sense. Like, now I don't have it anymore. Now it's like, what the heck? And we also have financial constraints in reverse. Honestly, I don't know this person personally, but I do see like this could be like a little, this person could be maybe a little bit of like a gambler at times as well too. And that doesn't have to be like literal, but like maybe just this person at times, like they haven't made the best choices when it comes to their situation. And that could just be like for a specific group of people. That doesn't have to be for everybody. This could just be, you know, coming through as well to say that this person is kind of going through a rough patch financially, you know, and they're trying to, and the fact that it's coming in reverse means that I think it's going to pass as well too. Usually when this financial constraints comes in reverse, it usually means that it's not going to last forever. They're kind of coming out of hard times and they're trying to get back on their feet, and they're trying to do that sort of thing as well too. So this could just be affecting, you know, it could be coming through because this could be affecting how they would act in this situation, or their self-esteem as well too. And when I say that, I'm looking at the thinking woman, and I think that's because I think this person really, really cares about what you think of them. And I don't think that they want you to see them in a negative light, or like as someone who doesn't have anything or can't take care of themselves, or whatever the case is. And yeah, they really want you to think of them highly as well. And then we have doubt underneath that as well too, which is the doubt, I think. And then we had imagination under that in reverse too, which not taking care of the imagination would be that Seven of Cups. I think at times they doubt that you even think about them as well too, like, or at least they're like, I doubt well, I was going to say she because it's thinking woman, but gender doesn't matter. They're like, I doubt that they think about me as much as I think about them, you know, something like that. Okay, let's get some channel messages. I'm really interested to see what comes out for you here, actually. So what are some messages here for pile 3 from this person? What are some channel messages coming through? Can you just get it together? 222 on there, on the clock. I think you're the one. Wow. I wanted to reach out, but I kept stopping myself. I'm starting to fall for you. These have been coming out in like every pile, the same ones. Interesting. Not everyone, but like this one. And I think this one came out in pile 2. I don't remember it coming out in pile 1. All right, anyways, any more channel messages here? Let's get some. Okay, so we have, I'm insecure about my looks. I'm lying when I say I don't miss you or want you. Bottom of the deck, it says, I'm sorry, I gotta set it down weird. Okay, it says tomorrow we can start again. And I feel like maybe this is that person being like hopeful for the future. That they're like, maybe tomorrow it'll be different, or tomorrow there's another chance, or a new day, you know, like a new sunrise, a new dawn. So we already said that already. I'm lying when I say I don't miss you or want you. You are my soulmate. My heart's broken. I lied so I wouldn't lose you. Are you sure you want to do this? I feel like with this, are you sure I want to do this? I think this person views you in such a light that they're like, really? Like, you want to mess with me? Like, you wanted to be with me? Which is very interesting. I think this person does have insecurities, but they do not like to let them show. So that could even be them coming off as like cocky or like very secure, you know? But for the most part, I do feel like this person is feeling your loss for sure. But I think that they're not only lying, I think they're not only lying like to you, like it says, I think they kind of lied to themselves. And I think that, and I think they were doing that for a while. And I think what's happening with this reading is they're realizing that they were just fooling themselves for a long time. Or it doesn't, time doesn't matter, but you get what I'm saying, like for a while. Yeah, and I feel like this person feels like you would be skeptical about this, obviously for right reasons. And that could make it even harder too, because they're like, oh, well, now I don't know for sure or whatever. I kind of want to get a couple more before we get your advice here. So can we get like 1 or 2 more channel messages from this person? I feel like they got more to say. Some more channel messages. I'm always busy. That 2 of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, like they kind of have a lot going on. Please talk to me, flying out there. Okay, let's get one more. One more. Okay, we have my last relationship wrecked me. I've never felt this strongly about anyone before. Interesting. It does seem like this person is a little bit all over the place, if I can be quite honest, pile 3. And I think that's probably one of the problems, that this person didn't prioritize you the way that you wanted them to. And that could have been one of the issues here. I think that this person, with my last relationship wrecked me, I think that this person maybe has some sort of outlook on a relationship, or on I want to say like a specific gender. So what I mean is that, like, if this person's a male, I mean, or if you're gender neutral, just ignore this. I'm not trying to like exclude you or anything, but it's kind of like, I feel like at times it can be maybe a little bit sexist, if this is just the energy that I'm feeling. I don't want to be like, I don't mean to be like negative, but I'm gonna tell the truth if I feel it. I'm so sorry if it upsets you, and if it's not true, don't take it as well too. That's the thing about general readings. If there's upsetting information that's not even true, then you don't even need to like worry about it. But for a certain group, I do feel like it's like an outlook. So like basically, if this person is a guy, they kind of have a certain outlook right now on women, and it's not a positive one. And I don't mean like they're sexist, as in like they think like, oh, women are this, or, you know, women are that, or anything like that. Like, not like to that extreme. It's like women, almost to them, it's like women are hurtful. Women will hurt me. It's like that. It's not like too bad, if that makes sense. And the same thing goes to, oh, shoot. Oh, wait. It didn't stop. Oh my gosh. So I've had this thing happen where it keeps cutting me off and it keeps stopping. And I looked on there and it changed. And I was like, oh my gosh. I just got through almost a whole pick a card without that happening, and it didn't happen. It just looked like it did. So excuse me for that frustration. I was about to literally like scream in anger, but we don't have to worry about that now. But yeah, so if it was like, what I was saying was like, if it was like a woman, they would be like, oh, all like men just want to hurt me, kind of that kind of thing as well too. For some reason that's coming up, and I'm also hearing that could have something to do with parentals. Like that could have started in childhood, and that could have been by their own parents. So that could run a little bit deeper rather than just the last relationship. But even if it doesn't even have anything to do with gender, this could just be like their relationship in general, you know, and their kind of outlook right now. So I think how they kind of came into this is what I'm hearing, and it didn't help them whatsoever. Like, it actually hurt them, and it hurt this connection. So with that being said, they do want to talk to you, and I think they do have a lot to say, but also at the same time, if I can be quite honest, if you were wondering if anything has changed or anything was going to be better in this next time, at least right now, my answer, and for some reason it's coming up, so that could have been something someone was wondering, but my answer right now, it doesn't seem like it. It looks like this person's still kind of stuck in the same, sorry, I really like holding your crystal, but it's kind of stuck in the same energy right now, if that makes sense. Like, it hasn't, and I'm hearing that's something that you already knew. Like, I'm hearing that some of you were like, yeah, no, I know. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get your advice now. Let's see, before it cuts me off. How funny would that be if it cuts me off? Actually, it wouldn't be funny, but it would be funny to you, because you'd be like, oh, she was just talking about that. Now it did it. But me, I would be like screaming on the other end. Okay. It's funny. That's just how I am. I always talk about my Aries moon in these readings, but it's so true, because that's what it's like. To some people, they'd be like, wow, like you scream, like that's dramatic. But to me, that's like, it's like a release. Like, I just scream, like I get really angry and I scream, and then I'm like, okay. Like, I just get it out. It's so funny. Okay, so the advice here for you. The first card we have coming out for you is fear equals feedback. So there is fear that keeps you safe and fear that holds you back. Now, learn the difference. So what is your fear trying to tell you? Or it just, in that case, what are your emotions trying to tell you about this situation? There are some important messages there for you about maybe how you interact with things, or how things affect you as well, to, I think Spirit really wants you to look into and learn from as well too. Like, it's always important to, you know, dive a little bit deeper into especially our fear, because fear can be our worst enemy at times, but it also can be such a great teacher and such a great lesson if we're willing to explore it. And that does take a brave type of person. It takes a special type of person. It's not for the weak, you know, for somebody who wants to go down the self-development path and to kind of learn more. It takes some strength. So commend yourself if that's something that you are willing to do. Then we have, don't believe your crappy thoughts. Your mind can lie to you. Oh, can it ever? And you know what's crazy about our minds lying to us is they can be so convincing at the same time. They truly can, pile 3. So please be easy on yourself. Those fears, those anxieties as well, you know, a lot of the times they feel so real and they feel like it can be truth, especially for my intelligent people out there. If you're very intelligent and good at putting patterns together and things like that, or you're very intuitive, that does not, it still doesn't protect you from, you know, these thoughts. In fact, it almost makes it worse, because you're like, okay, that makes sense, so this must be true. But that's not the case, okay? And what I mean by that is that when it comes to maybe what other people think about you, or when it comes to what you even feel about yourself, or things that maybe you feel like you should have done, or anything like that, anything that your mind can try to trick you into, like that you should have did differently or did better, or you don't do enough, that's all not true. And I'm here to tell you it's not. And sometimes when we get into a funk, our minds, you know, can run a little bit crazy in the wrong direction. But just remember that those things aren't true, and you're not even your thoughts at all. Sometimes it helps us put a little bit of space between you and your thoughts, as in like the things that come to your head. All of us, all of our thoughts and everything like that comes from straight up, they're not truly us. It comes from, sometimes if you're empathetic, it can come from other people, it can come from outer things, but a lot of the times it comes from fears, or they'll come from like wondering, and it comes from conditioning too. Like everything that we are comes from some sort of conditioning, if you really want to break it down. They're not us. A beautiful example too, if to put some space between you and your thoughts and to kind of let go, is the same as you just think of your thoughts as like an example, when you're walking down the street, okay, and you smell something, like say you smell something like poop, since we have that right there. Your reaction isn't to go, oh God, I smell like poop, or you're like, oh, that's my poop, you know, that's stupid, right? Well, it's almost the same thing with your thoughts. It's like, or if you smelled something good, like if you smelled like a flower, you know, and you're like walking by and you smell something good, and you're not like, oh, that's my flower. Like it's an experience that you're experiencing. Like you're walking by, it's happening to you. Just same thing as the thoughts. Like you don't have to hold on to them, and they're not always right. Especially the negative ones. Don't feed into any kind of negativity or fear if you're able to put awareness on it. Especially, like I said, for my intuitive people, sometimes one of the hardest things is to recognize your ego and to recognize the messages from spirit as well. And one of the biggest lessons that we learn in the beginning is that if it's fear-based, or if it's putting you down, if it's making you feel like shit, or if it's something that is just not out of love, it's not it. And it's hard because, like I said, they could be so convincing. Our minds can be so convincing, and so can our ego. But just remember, that you're not your thoughts, you're not those things, you're beautiful, you're amazing, and you're worthy of so much. There's nothing wrong with you, even if you think that there's so much wrong with you. I'm telling you, you're not. There's not something wrong with you. Oh, right here. Self-compassion spits in shame's face. I like that. It's so dramatic. I love it. Being hard on yourself makes everything worse. Talk to yourself like you would your bestie. Yeah. You're amazing, and you deserve to have that amazing support from yourself. Because in reality, when we're craving love and we're craving support from ourselves, that's all we truly want is it from ourselves, but we just don't know that. We think that we need it from somewhere else, and all we want is self-acceptance. Like if someone else says something bad about us that makes us feel bad, I guarantee your inner self just wants to hear, like, even if that is true, to hear it say, even if those things are true, I still love you anyways. That is such a powerful thing to say to yourself. You should try it. Like the next time you're like thinking bad things about yourself, or whether you're, it's about your looks or the way you are. I don't know. You don't even know what you would be mad about yourself, because you're amazing. I don't know what it would be, but whatever it is, if you were to just say like, even if that is true, I still love you anyways, man, that gives me the feels even just saying it. So practice that. You should practice that. You should be like, well, even if I fail at this, I'll still love myself and I'll still accept myself. Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps just every time I say it. I'm going to say it more often too. But yeah, be kind to yourself. Sometimes we get in these mindsets of like, we get in these mindsets of like, we need to do more. And that's conditioning as well too from society. Like we need to do more. If we're not doing enough, then we're lazy. We don't have things going for us by this age. I should have kids by now. I should have this relationship by now. That is all made up BS just to make us feel even more bad about ourselves, or to make us fit into a mold that we don't even need to fit into. It's ridiculous. Those are all made up standards by people that came before us that had no idea what they were doing either, and they just said we have to do this because that's what I was told, and so on and so forth until the beginning of time. It's always been like that in society. It's just different rules, different standards, different things, but for the most part. So please don't compare yourself to anyone else or to what you think you should be or to where you should be, because you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And if you weren't, you wouldn't be there. And it's that simple. I know sometimes our minds, again, lie to us and make it seem more difficult, but it truly is that simple. You are exactly where you need to be, because if you were supposed to be anywhere else, you would be there. And there's nothing wrong with where you're at. And I love you. And I need you to be kind to yourself. because you deserve kindness. And especially, guys, in a world that can be so unkind, the craziest thing, the most rebellious thing we could do is love ourselves and be that rebel, because you deserve love. Mwah. I just want to give you kisses. Oh, my dog got excited. I'll give you kisses too. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this reading here for you. Thank you for staying till the end. I truly do love you, and I love making these videos for you, and I love all your guys' support for the channel. I love you know, reading your comments, reading your stories, and all of that. It's so amazing, and it's so humbling to know that there really is a community, you know, where we can support each other, and we do really understand each other, and we can grow together. And I feel so grateful to be, you know, growing this beautiful community with you, and I can't wait to see where it goes and see what the future holds. But my future right now holds me going to bed. So love you. I can't wait to see you guys in the next pick a card. And if you're not subscribed and you don't want to miss another one, subscribe. And then I'll see you there. Bye.